I was born and raised in a small town in the south of England. When I was 17, my dad left us and my mom had to work 2 jobs to support our family of 4. I got really good grades in school, so when I finished high school, I decided to study finance at university. I walked over to him and he said, "Can you do me a favor?" "Of course," I replied. He then reached into his backpack, pulled out a crumpled piece of paper, and pushed it into my hands. "Oh yeah, that guy," one of them said. "Yeah, he's always begging outside the college," another added. They didn't seem to remember much else about him, but I couldn't stop thinking about his words and how he had seemed to know everything about me. "What's this?" I asked. He said, "That's for you. Open it when you get home." As we talked, I realized that I didn't want to follow the safe career path that everyone expected of me. I found some old textbooks on environmental science and started reading them. That's when I learned about climate change and how humans are destroying the environment. I immediately knew this is what I wanted to dedicate my life to. I wanted to be an environmental scientist. Instead, I wanted to pursue something that would allow me to make the world a better place. After graduating, I got a job at an environmental organization. I've traveled all over the world for my job, and I've helped countless people experiencing homelessness. I've even published several papers on climate change and become a well-known speaker on the issue. I know for a fact that none of this would have been possible if it wasn't for that homeless man and his £1 coin. He changed my life forever. Thank you, kind sir. Wherever you are, I hope you know that you made a difference. Even though my salary was low, I was happy because I felt like I was making a difference. I also volunteered at a homeless shelter, handing out food and clothes to those in need. I decided that no matter how much money I earned, I would always try to help others. I could tell that he had been crying and I asked him if he was okay. "I'm fine," he replied. "Just go home now." So I did as I was told and went straight home without telling my friends where I was going. However, I couldn't afford the expensive tuition fees, so I took out a huge student loan and moved into a cheap shared house far from the university. One day after class, I was walking back to my house with a couple of my new friends when we passed a homeless man asking for money. "Can I have £1 for some food?" he asked. One of my friends said, "Here you go, mate," and gave him a pound coin. Here's some advice from a man who has lived through it all. Don't waste your life working for money. It's never worth it. Break the chains while you can. Don't let society put you in a box. Find happiness within yourself. Be kind to others. Give more than you receive. Make sure you help people who are less fortunate than you. And finally, never, ever give up. I instantly burst into tears. I felt like this homeless man had read my mind. Every single word he wrote was exactly what I needed to hear. But why? Why did he give me this note? The homeless man looked up at all of us and said, "You are all good people. May God bless you." Then he got up, brushed the dirt off his clothes, and walked away. We stood there watching him walk away when suddenly he turned around and shouted, "Hey, you with the backpack, come here." When I opened the note, it read, "I may be homeless, but you are broke." The next day, I found my friends and asked them what they remembered about the homeless man. Later that week, I went to see a careers counselor at the university to discuss my future. As I walked away from the counselor's office, I came across a charity shop and walked inside. It took me a while to find a university that offered the course, but eventually I found one and transferred my studies. Now, almost 10 years later, I'm still working to protect the environment.